Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Warframe. I'm your host with the most, as always, Francois878, and today we're doing a bit of a retro episode. Today we're going to be doing an episode on Update 16.4. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. That update came out a week ago. Why are you covering it now? Well, because when it came out, I was on vacation, and I wanted to go back and cover it anyways, because I think a lot of very important stuff came out in this update. Lots of stuff that has pulled the community one way or the other. I'm not going to say controversial. I think that's giving it a little bit more credit than what it's worth. But I think between the new timed event, Operation False Prophet, as well as the new troll weapon, the Tonkor, which you see me using here, I definitely think that the community was pulled in a couple of different ways. This new grenade launcher is a lot of fun to use. It's not really a lot of fun to have it used on you. The Tonkor is your basic. It functions similarly to the Penta. It just launches grenades. They detonate. Pretty much the same thing as far as actually attacking people goes. But as you can see right there, as you just saw, if you point the grenade launcher at your feet and fire off a blast, it'll actually, you can rocket jump with it. And I thought that was a very interesting, a very cool little mechanic that they added into the game, and I think that it is definitely a fun way to troll your friends. It's kind of a dick thing to do with just random pubs and matches, but it's a lot of fun, to mess with your friends and mess with your clanmates and stuff. I think it's technically you can do friendly fire damage to your teammates. I think it's 30 or 50 damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think of it, basically you can't, you'll stop your teammates from regenerating shield or regenerating health or just generally be an inconvenience to them. And you don't even have to do it on purpose. They can be in a crowd of enemies, and you can fire it into the crowd of enemies and end up screwing them over on accident. So the Tonkor is a fun weapon to use, and I think it's a respectable weapon too. It's got decent damage, decent fire rate, very high crit chance, much higher than the Penta's crit chance for sure. But it's kind of we have half the community saying, this weapon shouldn't deal friendly fire damage, and it's a troll weapon, boo. And you have the other half of the community that says, bring it on, this is a lot of fun to use. And I'm leaning more towards the it's fun to use side, honestly. I feel like, having judicial aim with your weapons is an important part of a shooter. And not shooting your friends if you're in a sticky situation versus, you're at the end of a mission and you want to watch them fly up into the air, So, I understand where both sides are coming from, though I am leaning towards the side of fun. I don't care what anybody thinks. Now, what you've been watching for the last minute or so here is footage from the event Operation False Prophet. This is an operation to bankrupt Nef Anyo, he's a Corpus boss. He's getting a redesign soon. You actually get transmissions from him, which feature him as a new redesign, and I love the new redesign. I think he looks fucking awesome. But basically, they also introduced these new Bursa MOAs, and they're pretty cool. Each one of them have a different ability. Different kind of, there's a nullifier one, and there's one that, erects energy walls so you can't get past it. They have a couple of different abilities, which I think is really, really cool. Very similar to the Mutalist MOAs, actually. But this particular event, you have to build you don't even have to build it. You can actually just buy an offering of credits. And you find the Bursa MOA in the mission, and you have to stun him. You don't kill him. It's very important that you don't kill him. You have to stun him with an ability. Valkyr works well. and a couple of others. I think Rhino works pretty well. You stun him, and then you have to hack a panel on his back. And then once you hack his panel, he goes into this funds transfer mode, and you basically have to just... because he'll actually attack you while you're in that mode, so you have to slow him down. You can see here, I'm trying to use Frost's snow globe to slow him down. Nova is also really, really good at it. And the Nova's molecular polarity comes in handy later on as well. But, you just sit there, you wait for him to, hopefully not kill you, and you have to defend against, other Corpus coming at you until the funds transfer. And once the funds transfer, you have to kill the Bursa Moa before... he can detect the frauds, the funds as fraudulent, because I guess you're taking the offerings that you've given him, that you've purchased out of the marketplace, and then you kill him to get your funds back, and or something. I'm not exactly sure how it works. Like, I know what to do in the level. I don't know how it actually. Whatever. The whole point of the mission is to bankrupt this rich. Corpus scammer. He's there. That's kind of the way they're portraying him. Is he's a con artist. He'll scam you out of your money. This whole thing is about giving money to the void for good luck. That's his whole spiel in this particular event. And I love the flavor of this event. I love the redesign for Nef Anyo. I think that this particular event was buggy as shit. I never encountered any bugs when I was playing, but then again, I was playing the Tuesday night before the event ended, so I figured, 8 or 9 out of 10 bugs had been fixed. But I was keeping track of things on my vacation, just seeing what was going on, and I saw a lot of people complaining about this event. Tons of bugs, tons of problems, people not understanding what to do, and I can respect Warframe for trying to do something new and interesting, and I really, once they got all the bugs worked out for this particular event, I think it's a really cool concept. I just think that defending the Bursa took a little bit too long. Like, they should just kind of cut that out, make it a little quicker. And I think that the Bursa Moa could be a really cool mini boss, or just a really cool boss for a planet, honestly. I think it's a really interesting concept, and it's an interesting concept, and maybe, or better yet, maybe the Bursa Moas can just spawn randomly, in a mission where Anyo is the boss of that planet. I don't know. It's an interesting concept. I like the Bursa Moas. The event was not perfectly executed, but it's a brand new concept, so you gotta cut DE a little bit of slack. This game is still technically in beta, and I don't think a lot of people, fully understand that. So, there is, when you have new, you have a new enemy, you kind of have a new mission type. This kind of hacking and stalling an enemy isn't really something that's been in the game thus far. So, I think that a lot of the people who had a huge problem with this event need to just take a chill pill and take a step back and calm down. That being said, the rewards for this event were an accessories pack, which was a sigil and a emblem that you could wear. It was stylized like the Bursa Moa, which I thought was pretty interesting. At 100 points, at 1,000 points, you got the Impact mod set. So the big impact damage buff mod for all for your rifles, shotguns, pistols, and melee weapons. I feel like impact damage is a very it only works well with a couple of different weapons, and all of them, slash, impact, puncture. You're only going to have a short list of weapons that really works well with. It has to be a very specific weapon with a very specific damage type, in my opinion. But the final, for 1,500 points, the final one you get, which is what you see me using here, is the Quanta Vandal, which is, it performs pretty much identically to the regular Quanta. You shoot lasers and floating rectangles of doom, pretty much. It's the same weapon functionally, except you get a huge 25% status chance buff, going from 10% on the regular Quanta to 35% on the Quanta Vandal. I believe I had a 97% status chance just with Split Chamber and the 4 dual stat elemental mods. Which 97, that's nuts. That's so much status chance. It's insane. Plus, I believe the magazine size is a little bit bigger on it too. So overall, and plus the weapon looks badass too. It's got the Lotus logo with a green tint to it. It looks cool. It performs well. It's a great weapon. I highly recommend. If you're close to getting it in the event, that I would definitely get it. It definitely made doing the event worthwhile. It's a great weapon, and I highly recommend it. But that has been the episode for the mega episode for update 16.4, ladies and gentlemen. And I appreciate you watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And we will see you again next time for another episode of Let's Play Warframe. I'm your host of the most, as always, Francois878, signing out.